What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, OTB Nation? Welcome into episode number 422 of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked, number 11 Philadelphia ranked, the most disrespectful and unprofessional lacrosse podcast you ever done, seen, and heard in the land. It is the Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Industries Podcast Network. KB back in the saddle. We lost our fellow co-host this week.
Lost a good one today.
Broke his consecutive streak of appearing on the pod. He was ransacked and kidnapped by leadership campers, and he is currently in an undisclosed movie theater. DJ Hughes, T's and P's. Actually, I'm gonna keep his streak alive somehow later on in this pod. I'm going to keep his streak alive. We might just have to give a phone. I might have you call him.
Yeah.
Just keep it alive.
Yeah.
But if you're just listening, you just heard this man's voice. He's back for the first time in a long time. Co-host of the OTB College Lacrosse Show. The man, the myth, the legend, our guy. Hoots, back in the fold. Just the two of us running the two-man game. We've got NLL to talk about as it's the penultimate weekend of NLL action, and a lot to dive into. Wings' final home game of this current regime. So Saturday is going to be quite the emotional time. I'll be down at Xfinity Mobile Arena for that. And then we've got PLL news out the wazoo that came across the docket today as we record this on a Thursday night. A lot of it involving the Philadelphia Water Dogs. So we'll talk about all that. And then before we record again, this version of the show, the PLL and WLL drafts will have occurred. So we'll know the new members of each team. But Hoots and I are going to do a mini first round mock draft for the PLL draft. When we talk about the draft and everything, which, breaking news, once again, we're running it back. Your boy will be up at ESPN HQ for both the PLL and WLL drafts Tuesday and Wednesday. So we'll have live action from the worldwide leader coming at you. We'll figure out DJ's schedule as well for the OTB College Draft Extravaganza live stream. One way or another, that will happen on the YouTube channel. But I'll be up in Bristol covering everything in person, hopefully grabbing some interviews as well with coaches, GMs, but we'll have boots on the ground for that as well. Before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us at OTB LaxPod across the board. We're on every social platform, helps the show continue to grow. Follow Hoots at hootsportsmedia.com. If you know, you know. Follow DJ SCS_next great. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave a 5-star rating and review. It goes a long way for helping the show continue to grow, helps more people find OTB, plus all of our podcasts here at Underground Industries. And, of course, subscribe to both the Underground Sports Philadelphia and Outside the Box podcast YouTube channels, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia, youtube.com/@OTBLaxPod. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. What's poppin', Hoots? How we living, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing well. I just watched Denver hit one off the crossbar, so hoping at some point during this recording week I can explore with euphoria as Denver moves on to the championship with Frozen 4.
And I know Deej is sick that he's not on this podcast because it's the first episode since Michigan won the Natty for basketball. I know he is sick that he can't express his euphoria about winning another championship. And I'm just like, I need Michigan to slow down. I need all of Deej's teams to slow. I can't have him surpass me in terms of championships that have been won since this company started.
Dude, the fact that he said, I'm not filling out a bracket just so they can win.
Crazy.
And then they do. I was just like,
I was like,
here
they
he
justified
goes.
this man.
100%. I was like, no way, they're not winning at all. And then it was like, oh no, they have a chance.
And then I was like, oh, he's running into Dan Hurley. He might get headbutted. And then, nope.
Hey,
it is what it is. But
his pro teams aren't great, so
UConn. Not every Big East team can beat Michigan in the national championship. Just saying. Shout out Villanova. Hoots NLL upcoming weekend is pretty loaded, but looking back at last week, we got eviscerated in our picks as a collective unit.
Did we really? I didn't look back at it, so
if I pull up the graphic here, it was not looking good. Week 19. We all started off hot. Colorado Mammoth did their job, beat Vegas. I was feeling good. And then Rochester just turned back the clock, turned into a pumpkin again, absolutely got smoked. I lost the flip game because I picked San Diego. They once again lose a very close game. You and Deej both had Toronto. We both got bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived by Vancouver.
Which I was so mad because this is the second time this season now that I've almost picked Buffalo and talked myself out of it, and then they went and dominated.
They got mollywopped by Buffalo, and then Deej isn't here. I can say it. Calgary fucking stinks.
Dude.
They are so bad. They can't score for shit. And they lose 10-9 against Oshawa. But by principle, I said I'm not picking Oshawa the rest of the season, so I have to abide by it. But this week might be different because they play Calgary again.
I might run it back with Calgary. I'm not going to lie.
So bad. What the hell happened to Rochester this year? They looked so great to start the year. They went on a little bit of a hiccup, felt like they were rebounding, and then they have just fallen off a cliff. And it's crazy. And I don't it's ever since Hartley went and fucked around. It's like the lacrosse gods are just like, yeah, you can't do that, pal.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. The first weekend when McConvey had like 9 points or whatever it was, I was like,
Fields, they got addition. He looked like
I was like, they got their role players going and their stars are going, and once they get Zed back, they're gonna be even better. And yeah,
they look terrible.
And what's funny is like there's weeks that they look like competent, and you're like, okay, like last week when they killed Oshawa, like yeah, they gave up 11, but like they put up 18. Like that's what your offense should be. And then to just go back to lose to Halifax, it's just like unfathomable.
Their start to the season, they beat the Seals 15-7 in San Diego week 1. Then they beat the Wings 15-11. Then they were like in an absolute barn burner with you guys, 18-13 Mammoth win. Then they bounced back, beat the Wings again in Philly 16-13. Then they beat Buffalo 12-9. They go to a 1-goal game and lose to Toronto. Then they get shit pumped by Vancouver 16-6. Then they lose to Vancouver again 16-15. They lose to Ottawa 10-8. Somehow find a way to beat the Saskatchewan Rush in overtime 13-12. Then they lose 14-7 to Calgary, fire their coaches. Then they lose 17-10 to Vegas, 17-13 to Vegas, 18-11 they beat Oshawa, and then they lose 15-10 against Rochester. Or against Halifax, excuse me. But by proxy, Rochester. Like their season's they're at Buffalo this week, and then they have a home and home against Georgia to finish the season.
Yeah, good luck with those.
Like generational drop off. Like the only other team I've ever seen have a drop off like this is the Philadelphia Wings last year, where the Wings started out pretty good. I think they were like 2-2, 3-1, whatever. But it was like, all right, they're playing good, and then that middle of the season they just forgot how to score, and then towards the tail end they picked it up again, but it was too little, too late. Like Rochester, they were what 4-0, 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1, I think.
They're 6-9 since, like, overall. Like, they have the same record as San Diego. Halifax has jumped them in the standings. And they just, their biggest issue is we said it preseason, too. The defense was the biggest question mark for them. The defense in front of that goalie tandem was always a suspect because they had a bunch of former Philadelphia wings who I saw up close and personal. I love Chad Tutton. He can't be one of your best defenders, though. He's got to be a piece. They have no competent defense outside of like Jake Pacino kind of being a transition guy. They've given up the most goals in the league.
Yeah.
197 goals against with 3 games to go. The next
Well, they've been so
Oshawa
injured too on that back end.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryland Reese, how many games has he actually played?
Right.
Dan Coates, same thing. Like, to already have defensive questions and then to have the injuries on top is just, and that's where that's the most mind-boggling part of this is their offense should be putting up genuinely 14 plus goals a game to be able to account for that. They should be able to win like 14-12, 14-13 every night, and they're not.
Like, they have Ryan Lanchberry, Connor Fields. They traded for Blaze, McConvey, Graydon Hogg, Zed Williams, Kyle Waters, who I think is a very good piece for them, Ryan Smith. That's an elite offense. And they have just taken a drastic drop-off from last year where Fieldsy was the MVP. Lanchberry, Ryan Smith, and McConvey looked like the perfect complementary pieces to Fieldsy. And it has just been downhill time and time again. It's crazy to watch, like, just how they are unable to score, and they're just the leakiest defense I've ever seen.
Yep. But hey, they managed to get in last year somehow when like 17 things needed to happen, and they need about the same amount this year. So who knows?
It's crazy. Good win for your boys. Arguably second hottest team in the league. 1A. It's like you guys in Georgia are like right there, like in terms of consistency. Like Saskatchewan's also having one of those major drop-offs that we talked about last week that it's just like, holy shit, like this is unprecedented for them. And then Vancouver got punched in the mouth this past week. So big win for your Mammoth. That was huge for the Swarm, who were off last week. So they got a chance to kind of sit back, relax, and hope for the best. And they got a lot of the best because Vancouver lost. Saskatchewan was on a bye. Georgia, they were on a bye themselves. And Rochester lost, so they clinched a playoff spot.
I mean, Rochester losing clinched like 3 playoff spots, technically.
Yep.
Because they helped them. Buffalo, yeah, like... Yeah, I mean, those teams probably would have gotten in anyway, but it's still just like...
It was a perfect storm for Georgia this week.
Yeah. And they have a game in hand, too.
Right. They have a doubleheader weekend against Rochester, who very much could be out of it by the time they play one or both of those games. And they're sitting at 10-5. The Mammoth, by virtue of tiebreaker and records and everything, are right now first place.
Yeah, if they win this week, they're guaranteed a top 2 seed, if I'm not mistaken. So,
which is huge. Because I feel like, you know, we talked about it a little bit last week. Deej kind of disagreed with me, but I feel like teams like Colorado, Saskatchewan, Buffalo, you want as many home games as possible.
I mean, even if you don't feel like home field advantage is like a big thing, the Mammoth are 7-2 at home.
Right.
So the numbers disagree with that premise anyway. So, yeah, I want to play at home. More than anything, like especially in a year like this where like half the team is living in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want those guys to not have to travel if possible.
It's huge. Sleep in your own bed, eat your own food. Like,
yep,
that'd be massive. But yeah, I mean, huge win last week for the Dogs. Even though they lost to the Mammoth, like huge that, you know, Rochester lost, they still stayed ahead of them in the standings. They obviously have Halifax on their tails, but they have a game in hand against Halifax. And I mean, Ottawa kind of stays even. Steven, like if Vegas finds a way, they can still leapfrog Ottawa and get into that 6th seed potentially. That those final 2 playoff spots are going to be the most chaotic teams are going to get in.
Yeah.
And it's going to like shake up the entire playoff landscape because of the teams that are still alive. It's Ottawa, Vegas, Halifax, Rochester, San Diego. And Rochester and San Diego are pretty much on like life support, sitting at 6 and 9 for both of them. Halifax is 7 and 9, Vegas is 7 and 8, Ottawa's 8 and 8. Ottawa's almost like the closest to a lock, but you never know with them because one week they're scoring, 16 goals. The next week they forget how to play lacrosse as an entire team.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. But, I mean, huge win for Halifax has turned it around. Like, there was a point where Halifax had like 4 wins, maybe 3 wins. They fired one of their assistants already. And I said, if this downfall continues, like they traded Tyson Bell, like they made some like seller type moves at the deadline. I was like, if this continues and they fire a Corsi, I was like, hey, Philadelphia Wings, get on the line. Go give that man a blank check. They've turned their season around, but it's the most Halifax thing of all time. They're going to do this. They're going to finish 9 and 8 or whatever it'll be, 9 and 9, whatever their finishing record will be. And they're going to get in the playoffs. Everyone's going to be like, oh, they're the hottest team in the league. And then they're going to embarrass themselves against whoever, Toronto, against Buffalo, whoever they end up playing. They're going to look like shit against them because that's exactly Halifax. They're a regular season team.
Dallas Cowboys of the NLL.
Yeah.
Like every year, especially this year, all we heard was how great they're going to be. This is their year. They put it together.
Bomberry, which shout out to the boy,
which theoretically should have been way better than it was, and I think it will next year. But regardless, they were awful. Now they're 4-2 in their last 6. Chance to go finish 9 and 9 probably. Not probably, but they could. And then, like you're saying, now you have to go play Colorado, Saskatchewan, Vancouver, Buffalo.
They have Vancouver this week, and then they finish against Ottawa at home.
I mean, even if you get by Vancouver this week, do you think you can beat them again in the playoffs?
No.
That's why, like, once they traded Tyson, it was like a shock because of the name. But at the same time, it was kind of like, well,
there it is.
You've been running it back for how many years, and it hasn't worked. So,
yeah, they are going to disappoint so many people, and no matter what the matchup is, I'm going to look at that and be like, I'm picking whoever is playing Halifax because it's the most obvious thing. But I mean, if the Desert Dogs get in, that's huge for them. Obviously, they spent a shit ton of money in the offseason, bringing in a bunch of big names that have had trouble staying healthy. They've moved around some pieces. They obviously brought in our guy Kevin Crowley recently, but if they get in the playoffs, that'll be a big thing for them.
I hope they do. Obviously, if they end up playing us, I don't want them to win, but I think it'd be good for them as a franchise and as the league to just be like, look, you can be an expansion franchise and attract talent. And like, mind you, they're doing this without Chase as well, who
was there.
I was under the impression he was like done for the year. And then I heard that like there was actually a chance he could come back. So I haven't verified that, but if they can win enough games to get him back at some point, like that would be huge. But I mean, it seems like it's a destination guys are wanting to go.
That was like he's our new face of the franchise.
Yeah, I mean the fact that Tyson Bell re-signed,
huge.
I thought it was a rental, and everyone I talked to said no, this is a rental. They're going, and this is also why the same thing happened last year. Of like, is it really worth you trading a guy and banking on him coming back? Which maybe this wasn't that situation. Maybe they actually just assumed we're trading Tyson and taking the stuff back, knowing we're not getting Tyson back. But the fact that he's willing to like travel that far every weekend and, on top of getting Chase and Kluch and Mitch and them, like that's, I think you give it a couple of years. If they can find some goalie consistency, just consistency, not even top tier, just consistency, they're going to be a good team in a few years.
What do you think it would take? Because I feel like they didn't give him a fair shake. I would love to see them try to get Kirsty back in the box.
I think so.
He was
What does it hurt to have him under practice?
Right. With his brother, who he's already with in Boston in the PLL.
Yep.
He's one of the best goalies in the field game, and he plays extremely well in sixes. Why not try to develop him a little bit more and see what you can get from him? Because genuinely, how much worse could it be?
Yep. If nothing else, you have an extra body to shoot on.
Which didn't
helps
he play in the
your
U.S.
shooters.
box lacrosse team too?
I don't think so. I think it was Hutchinson from Halifax and I'm forgetting his name. He played for Calgary. It'll come to me, but he wasn't one of their top two. I know that. But I would give it a shot. I mean, you also got to think UK has looked all right. Kells at times has been better, but I still think
Abrams was.
Yes, Abrams. Thank you. And they, from what I understand, they really believe in Caleb Kahn, which they're obviously going to develop that, but how long is that going to take at the same time? But that's very obviously their downfall.
Yeah, I would see if that's a possibility. If Colin
unless he was atrocious.
Yeah.
Which
he got drafted. It was his rookie year, and then he kind of just never went back.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't hate that. I think that would be really cool, especially knowing how family oriented Sean Williams is.
Yep.
Why not give it a shot? But San Diego's dead, right?
I don't know. I find myself believing a little bit.
They play Georgia this week, down in Georgia on Sunday. And then they're home against Vegas on Friday and at Vegas on Saturday next week. I mean, they're not theoretically dead with those Vegas games there. Anything can happen there. But
it's tough because the teams ahead of them, on paper, I just don't know that I believe in them the same way I do San Diego.
Right.
Honestly, part of it is probably just that because when they came here and I saw how well they played for 3 quarters, that all of a sudden I was like, oh, wait a minute, you guys can actually play lacrosse.
They've been in so many close games. We talked about this last week, Deej and I. They've been in so many close games over the last almost 2 months, and they just can't close them out.
Yeah. But
I don't know what it is.
They're probably losing to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could potentially sweep Vegas if they play their best lacrosse. Is Pat Cav healthy and available?
Right.
Is their offense actually clicking? Their defense clearly seems to be all right. At least what we saw last week. So, then again, like we said, Halifax is 4-2 over their last 6. If they win 2, then they're dead. And Rochester, same thing. Ottawa, do they end with 9? Do they end with 10?
Mm-hmm.
Do they end with 8? I guess, but
San Diego since February 21st, they beat Halifax in a 1-goal game at home. Then they lost to the Mammoth at that game at the end of February, 14-12, so 2-goal game. They lost to Vancouver 9-7 on the March 1st game. They lost 10-9 to Saskatchewan March 14th. They lost to Buffalo 9-8 in that overtime game that Dane Smith scored the overtime goal. And then they lost 7-5 last week. All of these games are such minute swings that they've been in all of them until the very end. They should easily have 4 more wins if they were able to finish those. They should have won the Saskatchewan game, should have won the Buffalo game. They probably should have won last week. They could have easily won the Vancouver game. And
they should have beat us too because they were killing
in
us.
that game for most of it, and then they just fell apart.
That's why part of me wants to believe in them and be like, well, they could, but at the same time, they've shown over and over that they can't close those games. Mm-hmm. So from that perspective, it's like it's going to be a tough road.
Vancouver getting absolutely pummeled by Buffalo was not on my bingo card. That was not ideal for Vancouver. That was like worst possible scenario.
Yeah. I mean, Vancouver basically messed it up for the rest of us too. Mm-hmm. Because now Buffalo's at 10 wins.
Yep.
Like
they chased Del Bianco from the game. That's rare. Vancouver went scoreless in the fourth quarter. They went 0 for 5 on the power play. And they just played a sloppy game. 55 penalty minutes. You're not going to win games when you're giving a team like Buffalo 5 power play opportunities and you're in the box for 55 minutes as a team.
Yeah.
And they
once they started fighting too, it was over.
Pummeled in the shots on goal category. Buffalo outshot them by 20 shots. Like Josh Byrne had 10 points. The leading scorer for Vancouver was Adam Charlambides with 4. You're not winning those games. Like this is the time of year where Buffalo thrives because they know like, oh, we're defrosting. Like it's almost playoff time. And now they're just on a hot streak and Joe Resiteritz remembered how to play lacrosse, which is pretty fucking cool. It's pretty fucking awesome, Joe. Love that for you, man.
Are you sure?
Dude couldn't hit the fucking backside of a barn all year in Philly. I'm not.
Well, it is. It is a lot easier when you got Dane Smith, Josh Byrne, and
I'm not blaming Joe either. I'm blaming coaching, but that's another discussion for next week when it's all said and done for the Wings and all that jazz. But tough week for Vancouver, like big stock down for them. Anything else nice moral victory win for Oshawa. Go out on a high note, boys.
Oh.
I mean, what a pathetic matchup.
The battle of two teams that don't own their first-round picks, so it doesn't actually help them.
The battle of who are we going to send Joey Spallina to if it's not the Philadelphia Trenton Lehigh Valley Wings.
Yeah, that's a fire name right there.
I mean, shout out to the boy, Alex Simmons. No matter how bad this team has been, the Oshawa Firewolves, he's just showed up damn near every week.
Yep.
Like, he's so legit. Shout out to Ethan Walker for showing up this week. 4 points. We were talking a little bit earlier. Hopefully Dyson Williams is okay. What the fuck was that ref doing, man?
I've never understood, and also I have my own thoughts on this as a photographer, but why do we need an official like touching the goal line on the crease? For starters, as a photographer, you're getting all my shots, so I automatically don't like you. Mm-hmm. As just a fan watching, what's the point of having the overhead cameras and the sideline cameras if you're just going to be standing there anyway? I get you have to call this stuff, and I would have a totally different tune on this if Ian McKay himself wasn't like, yeah, this doesn't make sense. I mean, respectfully, when San Diego played Vancouver a few weeks back, remember there was that crease call at the end of the game? The referee was not, at least from my vantage point, was not touching the crease when he made that call. Mm-hmm. And he probably got it right. So why do we need him to be touching it, getting in the way, where Dyson is essentially looking to his left, you're to his right, and you're not backing up. You just stop. Why? And then when Ian was saying they have to tell them when they're going behind the net, does that not tell the defense exactly what's happening?
Right.
What
are we talking about? On top of that, just from an officiating standpoint this year in the NLL, I don't know if you've witnessed this in Colorado, because a lot of the times when Colorado's home, the Wings are also home, and I'm not able to listen to the games. The amount of times in Philly alone this year, and I have never seen this. I genuinely cannot remember a time this happened. I think I've seen it 5 times this year now, where there have been conflicting calls by the officials on the floor, and they've had to go to another replay.
Yeah, that's happened, I want to say once or twice.
It happened twice in a game for me this year.
I'm honestly surprised it hasn't happened more, because between Ryan Lee when he was healthy, Q, Dylan McIntosh, who else? Dylan Hess does it. We have so many crease divers. Mm-hmm. I'm honestly shocked that there aren't more referees coming in and disagreeing with each other. But I think honestly what I started noticing was more refs are just calling it a goal, because then they can at least go and review it and just say,
and delay,
which I appreciate. More. I mean, if you're going to review it, at least call it a goal on the field so we can, keep the game moving.
My thing is too, and I was talking to like one of the scoreboard operators at Xfinity Mobile Arena. He was bringing this up. How do we not have one person at NLL HQ during these games, like to monitor and be like, call in, hey, what did you see? It's and like expedite it like the NFL does. Like, how do we not have expedited review yet? Where like we're taking 5+ minutes to review one singular thing, and it just kills all momentum, not only for the players, but just in the arena. Like, it sucks the fans out of it, and it's just like they lose interest so quickly because you're taking forever to review these things.
Well, in some stuff, it feels obvious, or like, okay, we saw 2 different angles. We know what it's the call, but we have to watch the other 7 angles. And like, I'm very grateful for all the angles. I'm grateful for where the sport is in that aspect. I'm not complaining, but like, we don't need to. That dude clearly stepped in the crease.
Right. We don't need to look at every angle if we know he stepped in.
Hey, that guy cross-checked the guy in the neck. We probably don't need to see it 7 times.
There's conclusive evidence.
I mean, and it's also just stuff that like, a lot of judgment calls this year, I feel like, are being called, and then they're being called majors, I think, because then they can reduce them to minors, and I'm like, I get that, but
I've seen that a ton, too.
I just saw one this weekend where Connor Knock basically just sets a hard screen on Kyle Killen with his back, literally full. I have the photo on my Instagram. Full back turned, hits Kyle, falls. They give him a major for it. Then they go and review it for another 4 minutes, and then reduce it to a minor. And I'm like, okay, that at best is a minor based on what we saw on this very same field earlier this season with Elijah Gash. Mm-hmm. What we've seen with now there's that at Ball Arena, but with other plays around the league. And yet, like you're saying, then we go and review it for 4 or 5 minutes. Why? Call it a minor and move on.
That's the length of the penalty you just called. Like,
I mean,
the fact that especially we're not, like, optically thinking about it in those terms, it's like we're taking the length of the penalty to determine what the penalty would be.
Seriously. And the funniest part about it too is like, twice now, at least once, but I think it was twice, Pat Coyle has challenged a goal, meaning there's a stoppage. They then come back and say, oh, he didn't do it in time, so we can't review that. And we still end up taking 2 extra minutes to just like talk it over and like waste time. I'm just like, so wait a minute, it's 30 seconds when play's happening. I get that. But when there's a goal, you should extend that to 45 seconds because you have to get it on the iPad as well.
Even 40 seconds.
I mean, something, but then we have to talk about it, and we have to tell the 2 captains on the field, and then we have to go tell the coaches, and we have to tell the score, and like, it's not even just replays. It's like every single stoppage has to be like a bajillion minutes long, and I don't understand.
And it just kills the entire mood of the arena. It kills the entire mood of a broadcast. Yeah. Like, it's so extensive in aspects where it doesn't need to be. Like you said, grateful for all the, like, make it quicker. Like, we don't need to drag these out. Like, people are not in the arena to watch the referees. People are not watching at home to watch the referees watch 17 million different camera angles like it's the Zapruder film. Like, look at the review. If it's conclusive enough, exit the booth. Take 30 seconds. Boom.
Yep.
Let's get this show back on the road. It should not take as long as it does.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I want officials to get it correct. I don't want to get it twisted.
Like, don't get that twisted.
But even stuff like, in the final 2 minutes, they have to review the goal. I'm cool with that. But why are we watching it, like I said, 7, 8, 9 different angles when it was clear from the first one? Mm-hmm. If you want to do a double check when you're like, okay, let's check one other angle, cool. Like, fine. NFL does it, that's fine. But yeah, I'm just some stuff is just so ticky tack anyway that I'm like, I'm like, you called it. Let's just leave it a minor. It sucks, but it doesn't matter. Your call sucks. Yeah. It is what it is. Like, get on with it.
Like, it just sucks the life out of a building, and it drives me crazy. And I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going crazy and that this is also happening elsewhere.
Yeah.
We need to fix that going into next year. That needs to be priority, like top of the list.
That's a sports wide thing too. Some of these other sportsmen, I'm like,
I'll say the NFL's got it down good. We're watching it in Major League Baseball right now with the ABS stuff, which a lot of people are controversial about it being like whatever. It's so quick. I've been at games in person and watching on TV. It does not ruin my experience.
Yeah,
it's so fast. Like even the baseball challenges, they're not that long, and like baseball was a sport that used to take forever.
Yep.
And the challenges are perfectly fine. NLL is more along the lines of like the NBA, where they're just taking 9,000 hours.
I mean, the NBA, they make you take a timeout just to review it. I'm just like, at some point, we're far off away from this, but at some point, I would love to see technology like baseball enter in for things like crease violations. Obviously, there'd be technical, components to that you'd have to wire in, but maybe something on, I mean, you probably break it, but something in the goalpost to see, it hit the post, but did it go inside the post, or just stuff like that where we could automate it to be like, yes, that went in. No, it didn't. Like baseball, it's I don't even like baseball, but I love when I'm watching. There's a strike call challenge, and it's immediately on the thing, just like, oh yeah, no, that was in the strike zone. We're done.
And then we move right next to the next pitch or the next batter. Like it's done. Yep. It's so quick and seamless, and that's year one of this being in the majors. Like they've obviously test ran it in the minors and everything, but this is the first time it's in the major leagues, and it is the most seamless like addition to a game I've ever seen. Like it's more seamless than when they introduced the pitch clock. The pitch clock has been great, but that first year it was like, all right, there's a lot of hiccups of like the eye contact rule and guys getting adjusted to it. And this is the most seamless addition to a sport I've ever seen, and it's great. One day we'll have it in the NLL. Any other thoughts from Week 19, Hoots?
Nope, just really hoping Buffalo's not back.
We'll see. We'll see if they are, because they've got a nice little tasty matchup this week. A loaded slate here in the penultimate week, Week 20 of the National Lacrosse League. A lot of rivalry games, a lot of fun matchups. We've got Toronto at Ottawa kicks things off Friday at 7:30 Eastern. And then 9 Eastern, we've got Halifax at Vancouver. And then the Saturday slate, Calgary at Oshawa at 7 Eastern. Vegas at Philly for the final home game for the Philadelphia Wings in this iteration at 7 Eastern. Rochester at Buffalo in Banditland at 7 Eastern. Your Mammoth Hoots go to Saskatchewan to take on a free-falling Saskatchewan Rush team. At 9 Eastern, and then Sunday, 4 Eastern, San Diego at Georgia. What is standing out? I'll let you start with your Mammoth going up against Saskatchewan. Big game for both teams. What's the expectation for Mammoth Rush for you?
I don't know that I have one, honestly. I said I was recording Tuss Talk earlier today, and I said this is probably the biggest game I can remember since the championship games a couple years ago. Just because the chance of going from first to sixth at some point, I don't know if we can go straight to sixth this weekend, but the fact that that's even possible is scary. And as much as I want to say, like, yeah, Saskatchewan is, on a downswing, it's like they're still Saskatchewan and they still have a lot of great guys. The coolest thing about this game, though, is both teams 11-5. Both teams 185 goals for. We've given up 5 more goals. I mean, goals per game, goals against per game, the exact same. So these are about even teams. If I had to guess, it would be closer to their Buffalo matchup they had last week, where it was a 1-goal kind of shootout there. I don't know. I think it's just going to come down to just how hot can we start and then stay. I mean, you look, especially when you look at last week, like there was a point where Vegas was hanging in there. It was 4-3. And I was like, oh no, this might go the wrong way. And all of a sudden they turned it on and it's like, okay, this is what we need to do. I'm hoping Owen Down is back. That dude, unfortunately, has been on a bad injury streak. So I don't know. It's going to be a tough one no matter what. And I don't like that it's in Sask either. But
yeah, that is the tough part. Is like going there. And also just looking at the standings too. I meant to bring this up. Mammoth right now, by virtue of tiebreakers and everything, sit atop the league at 11-5. Vancouver's 11-5. Saskatchewan's 11-5. Georgia's 10-5. They've officially clinched their playoff spot. Buffalo 10-6. They've clinched their playoff spot. Toronto 10-6. They've clinched their playoff spot. And then it's Ottawa at 8-8, Vegas at 7-8, Halifax 7-9, Rochester, San Diego both 6-9, Oshawa 5-11, eliminated from the playoffs, Calgary 4-12, eliminated from the playoffs, and then Philadelphia 4-12, eliminated from the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, the Saskatchewan and Colorado game is like easily like that's a playoff game before a playoff game. Like that is you put that on. You put that on the main screen of your TVs. Like that is must-watch television. Toronto and Ottawa is de facto a playoff game for both teams too. You know, Ottawa's trying to clinch, Toronto trying to move up in the standings. That's going to be a huge matchup for both of those teams. Halifax, Vancouver is huge for both teams. That's another playoff type game with Halifax trying to keep their season alive, Vancouver trying to get back into a top 2 spot, like cemented, while they await the winner of Colorado and Saskatchewan. Calgary and Oshawa are just that. The Calgary Oshawa game this week is the epitome of that tweet of "It's always two dumb bitches just saying exactly." That's that game this week. There's no like rhyme or reason for that game, but it's just there.
Back-to-back weeks is
tough.
Hey, you know what though? It's going to be a great game.
Oh,
as a
100%.
standalone game. I mean, it affects nothing, but it does for some teams, I should say.
Yes.
But you know, it'll at least be a good game.
This is a
hopefully,
draft pick game.
A draft pick game for other
Ottawa
teams across the league, for playoff teams.
Yeah, for Ottawa, Toronto, and Philadelphia, this is a playoff game.
Yeah,
because Oshawa's pick belongs to Ottawa, and then Calgary's pick belongs to Toronto, and then Philly. I want to see the Wings win this game. Like
I do because it's their last game, but right. I don't because I want Joey Brennan Sowers.
Yes, like that's the like rock in a hard place. I'm like, I want to see the Wings win one final game in that arena, win it for the fans who actually care about the team.
Yep,
who are going to like be rooting for those boys for full game one last time, and just go out on top. Leave a good like memory for the city of Philadelphia, for those fans, not for Comcast because fuck that, but also whether it's Trenton, Lehigh Valley, what have you, Brennan, Joey, Michael Sowers together, hopefully, depending on the move.
Well, I mean, couldn't they still, not to cut you off, but couldn't they still get it if they won, assuming Calgary wins, and that puts you all at 5-12?
Because Calgary has the tiebreaker because they beat the Wings.
But do you guys have the tiebreaker over Oshawa, or do
no? Oshawa has the tiebreaker. They beat us in both.
Okay, so we just need Philly to win and Calgary to win. Best case scenario.
Like Oshawa and Calgary have the tiebreakers over the Wings to finish ahead of them if they have the same record.
It's doable. Because
we lost to Oshawa twice. Lost to Calgary earlier this year. It's doable. And the Wings play Vegas next week in Vegas. Is it Vegas or is it Vancouver?
It's not Vegas because Vegas plays San Diego.
It's Vancouver. They're in Vancouver next week. So, could potentially lose that one. And, you look at the other teams. Oshawa hosts Buffalo. And then your Mammoth are in Calgary. The American Dream Team is still alive.
I just think that's a fun storyline, and
especially the year going into the before the Olympics. Like, that makes you so marketable going to a new market. Well,
they'd have to market though,
right?
But
you'd have 3 of the top American players right now who are all more than likely going to be on Team USA.
Yeah,
in the 20.
Dude, imagine the content the Wings could make during the Olympics with those 3. That's built-in content that you don't even have to produce, really.
It would literally be a repeat of the World Games when it was Rambo, Trevor, and Blaze.
Yeah.
And it was just marketing the shit out of those guys. And then they also had Liam Burns on the team, so they were coupling him in there too, because he was one of the star defensemen on that team. It's so easy.
That'd be great. And I would assume Joey lives up there somewhere, northeast-wise.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Long Island
in the States.
area.
Okay, see, so that's...
I would assume. I mean, he's at Syracuse now, so...
If this happens, I'm dropping the cinema meme straight on the timeline.
Absolute cinema.
Yes.
I was just happy we got the one Blaze to Sowers to Brennan connection before it was all said and done. Like, it actually happened. They did the meme.
They did.
But yeah, I just want to see the Wings get the win there. It's doable. Vegas is very up and down. It's also going to be pretty cool. I just thought of this too. Final Wings home game, and Kevin Crowley's going to be in the building.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Mitch Jones, obviously, too, who made his mark in 2.5 years here.
Wait, you guys go to Vegas, though?
We're home.
Oh, you're... Okay, yeah.
Yeah, final home game. But Crowley coming back one last time is pretty sweet. Mitch Jones coming back.
It's honestly perfect timing for Crowley to decide to come back and play.
Mm-hmm. If it wasn't going to be for the Wings, which I would have loved. Would have loved that. It all went downhill when Kevin Crowley left.
Yeah. Well, I mean, between that and then Baptiste going and
Rambo
not fun
broke
times.
his hand and never played again.
Is that how that started?
I think that's what started him not playing in the NLL, was when he broke his hand in Baltimore in the PLL.
I figured he was just like,
and then
I'm
he
done
moved
with
to Florida because he's coaching high school, so he wasn't in Philly anymore. Buffalo and Rochester. I mean, Rochester is a must-win. The most must-win game.
Well, okay, that's a must-win for them. What else? Let's see. They need Georgia as a must-win for them. Vancouver's a must-win for them. I mean, they need half the league to do a very specific thing for them to have a chance.
Literally, which I'm having deja vu because this was the same song.
Yes. Wasn't it? They had 0.8% chance or something.
Yeah,
and all of us were like, "It's not happening." And it was like, "Whoa!"
The final game of the season, they beat the Wings, and it was a done deal. Yeah, and it's a must-win for San Diego. Good luck playing against the MVP.
Andrew Q's not playing in that game. I don't think.
I do think Q will be an MVP finalist.
I don't.
I think he's got a shot.
I think he should, but I think you're gonna have Delbs, Dobson, Keegan Ball. And probably
they nominate. No offense to Christian Delbiano, the boy. You think they nominate 2 goalies for MVP?
I think he's more likely than Q.
Q right now, looking at his stats,
because he missed 4 games,
84 points, 46 loose balls. Obviously not like Connor Fields' trajectory last year, where Fields he had over 100 loose balls, and that was a huge thing. I don't know. So he'll finish obviously if he remains healthy, 14 games out of a possible 18. I
They'll have over 50 goals.
If he goes off in these next 2 games, let's say, gets to 100 points, he would need to average 8 points a game the next 2.
And he's averaging 7 right now, so that's definitely doable.
If he gets to the 100-point mark, I think you have a tough time keeping him out of a nomination.
Hey, if that happens, I think it's more likely. I truly think last week, Delb's game really hurt him. Mm-hmm. Whereas before then, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Plus, I just think the emergence of Dane Smith late season, because Dane was having a bad year to casuals, but he was not having a bad year before. Now he's just playing way better.
At worst, I think Q's going to be an Offensive Player of the Year nominee.
Yeah, for sure.
Of the year, whatever. He's leading the league in goals.
Yeah.
He's ahead of Tanner Cook by 2. He's ahead of Jeff Teat by 5. And those are the only 3 guys with 40-plus goals right now.
Yeah.
Connor Fields will get there. Simmons will get there. If he can get to that 100-point mark, which right now, points leaders, it's Keegan Ball, who I think will be an MVP candidate.
Yep.
Teat's at 106. Dane Smith is at 105. Fields at 104. And Josh Burns at 101. And then on the cusp, Alex Simmons is at 96. Lanchberry's at 93. Hellier's at 91. Tyler Pace is at 90. Mitch Jones is at 89. Tanner Cook at 87. Ryan Keenan, Q, and Donville all at 84. Those are probably the guys that are like in the realm of possibility. Clark Peterson's at 82, but that feels like an outside looking in.
Yeah.
And the fact that Ryan Keenan has played 16 games, Donville's played 15, Q's played 12, and he's got the same amount of points. Like, I don't know. If I was in the nominee room, I'd have a tough time leaving him out. Where, like,
I mean, can you imagine if he played those other 4 games and he keeps up his pace? That's another 28 points. Like,
by far and away the best offensive player.
I think he'll be an Offensive Player of the Year nominee, no matter what. He may end up getting their MVP, but it doesn't really matter because Dauber's he's gonna win it. But I would love for him to be a finalist, just so I can message that guy on Facebook that called him a nobody. I'm gonna bring that up every chance I get.
I mean, if he's an MVP candidate, the Mammoth won that trade.
I think we already won that trade.
100%. I agree.
CK's not playing lacrosse.
He's at Richmond.
Hey, he's playing defense. He changed positions.
Playing college lacrosse. He had another year of eligibility. COVID year. Red shirt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boy,
so
it'll
be. Do they normally nominate 4 guys?
I thought it was 5, but it might only be 4.
Let me see what last year was. MVP.
I've seen people like putting lists together of both 4 and 5. So, actually, no. Was it only 3? Because I feel like there was one of the years it was like Dane and Josh were both like MVP candidates, and they were 2 of the 3 or something like that.
Yeah, it was. Let's see. Award winners. No, I want to see the nominees, not the winners. Come on. Let's see. Here we go. It was 3 last year. Yeah, it's been 3.
Okay. So in that case, it's probably
Keegan, Dauber.
I think they'll go Dane.
Or do they throw Teat a bone?
Whoever finishes with more points. Probably. The only downside is like they're going to use like the winning as a crutch for Dane as well, which I would counter with he has Josh Byrne, who's right behind him for points as well.
Which, again, if Q climbs the ladder there.
Yeah.
there's a real chance that that's in the realm of possibility.
Hey, I'll take a nominee.
Dude, Connor Fields has 100 loose balls again this year.
I don't know. He has to be cheating. He has to have a magnet in his, like, how?
It's crazy. He is like the loose ball leaders. It's Jake Withers who has 204, which is just fucking bananas. Courier, Callum Jones, Ignacio, Robert Hope is 5th. Palo Alto is 6th. Tarafanko, Mitch DeSnew, Mike Messenger, Alex Pace, Trevor Baptiste, Sam English, Graeme Hossack, Brent Noseworthy, Will Johansson, Tchaikovsky, Matt Hossack, Boudreau, Teat, and Connor Fields.
Wow.
2 forwards are in the top 20 in loose balls in the National Lacrosse League.
Back-to-back years, he's had over 100.
And the next closest forward is McConvey with 96, Patra with 96, and Keegan Ball with 92. And then Ty Kurtz is at 90. It's nuts. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun week of matchups. I mean, my game of the week is hands down Colorado Saskatchewan. I'm sure that's yours as well, and I feel like that should be everybody's game of the week.
Has the most riding on it for sure. So
Toronto and Ottawa is going to be an absolute bloodbath, though.
Yep. I mean, there's those top 4 or 5 teams are going to be looking at that game too, because they kind of need Ottawa to win that game.
It's the first game of the week too. Like that is like the ultimate put up or shut up game for Ottawa too. It's like, if you want to be a playoff team, go win that game. You're at home. Figure out a way to win. You have Jeff Teat. You have unlimited resources offensively from Rob Hellier, Phil Caputo now, Connor Kiernan, Riley O'Connor, like Larson Sundown. You have the pieces. Your defense needs to sack up.
Honestly, they got to get Jeff going early. I feel like so many games he has big point totals, but so many of them came in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Which is fine if you're, coming back.
Totally.
But, I mean, get him going early, get him and Hellier going, and all of a sudden it's like easy the rest of the game. If you're waiting till the fourth quarter, it's already, nail in the coffin.
Especially when you're going up against CJ Kirst, Owen Hiltz, Sam English, like Jalen Rogers, the way he's been playing, Mark Matthews.
Yep. And I mean, Nick Rose has been playing well since coming back too. So get him off his game a little bit, and you may have a chance. And this one's in Ottawa too, I believe. So not that they draw the biggest crowd, but hopefully that helps them a little bit too.
Mm-hmm. But also could end up being split crowd.
Well, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. On second thought, it will be a full house. It just won't be all Ottawa fans.
They should just separate them like a Premier League game. Alpha team go this way, gold team go this way. Any questions? Gold team.
There's gonna be no crossing. It's like you can only have these food options. You can have these food options.
No drinks at the seats.
No. They might put plexiglass just down the middle of the walkways, but
they're gonna put soundproof glass so they can hear the shit talking from each side.
Oh,
that's incredible. But yeah, I think without any further ado, before we kick to our picks of the week, just want to talk to you guys about our friends over at 47. I've got that OTB 47 hat on right now. It's 47 week on their website. They've got sales dropping with new capsules every single day this entire week. You don't want to miss out because they sell out quickly. Brand new stuff for your favorite sports teams. Plus, they've got all the college teams you could ask for, over 200 college teams. And they got some pretty sweet, like, past winter lacrosse shirts in there that you should definitely check out. Rep your favorite sports teams with our friends at 47, whether it's the NBA, NHL, NFL, MLB, college sports, NASCAR, soccer. They've got MLS on deck. plus so much more. Use our link in the description and join the 47 family. It's their rewards program. You get points for every purchase you make, and that goes towards free stuff. And Hoots, I don't want to speak for you, but if it's free, it's for me. Plain and simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how I operate. So use our link in the description, shop with 47, get free shipping on all orders when you join the 47 family. And shout out to 47 for being a proud partner of OTB and the official headwear partner of Underground Industries. I literally have like 6 things in my cart right now, just waiting for. Like I have a Quebec Nordiques hat in my cart that looks absolutely sweet. I have a Hartford Whalers hat in my cart. I have a Princeton Tigers past champs lacrosse shirt in my cart. Philadelphia Union hat, and then they just dropped like an MLB golf collab, and
that's sick.
It has ducks on it. It's the ultimate OTB pandering. But I'm like, yep, I need all of this. The Nordiques hat is sick.
Just don't wear it too much because you'll lose a lot. Just ask the Avs.
Yeah, I just love their branding.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's so sweet. But let's head on over to the pick pond. Speaking of ducks, and feed those ducks and dish out our NLL Week 20 picks of the week, brought to you by Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Maryland, and Delaware areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores, convenience stores, and grocery stores in those markets. Just use the Kenny Finder at kenwoodbeer.com to see who has it available in your area. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. Hoots, we start out in Ottawa as the Toronto Rock take on the Ottawa Black Bears. It's put up or shut up for the Black Bears. It's a big game for the Rock in terms of playoff positioning. How do you see this one shaking out?
I mean, it feels like a game Toronto probably should win. It also feels like a game that Ottawa is going to come out with the win for no solid reasoning other than Jeff T is going to go off in my mind. So I'm going to take Ottawa for the quote-unquote upset.
Toronto just feels like they're on that consistent path, and they're just trying to do everything in their power to avoid the Buffalo Bandits so that they can just have a quality playoff run. And I just think that continues, so I'm going to go with Toronto to get the dub. Halifax and Vancouver at 9 Eastern on Friday night. Vancouver got punched in the mouth. Halifax is feeling good about themselves. I don't think Vancouver gets punched in the mouth back-to-back weeks. They're back home. I have a hard time seeing them losing back-to-back weeks with so much on the line in terms of playoff positioning for them. Even though they're already in, they won a top seed. I'm going Vancouver to win at home.
Yeah, I'm right there too. Obviously, hope I'm wrong, but Halifax just hasn't put it together enough times in a row to beat, I think, the top teams. And like you said, I think last week was very uncharacteristic for Vancouver. And they played a hot Buffalo team. This is not an ultra... Bang! Sorry.
We love a
double OT winner.
Talk your shit, King.
Where's DJ at? Get him out of his trunk.
Call him. I dare you to call him right now. keeps his pod streak alive.
Oh, he might not have internet. Hold on.
He gonna have phone service though.
Bro's probably watching a movie.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Boo this man. Boo.
Everyone tweet at DJ right now. I don't care how late you're listening to this episode.
Boo.
How many days late?
I'm going to tweet it right now.
Anyway, back to what I was saying before I was graciously interrupted. I'm I'm picking Vancouver.
The phone call from.
Guarantee you he's going to say, hey, we won March Madness. I'm chilling.
Hey, man, we just won a basketball championship. We're just dishing out more to the masses. Can you hear it now? But yeah, I'm going Vancouver as well. Speaking of Deej, Calgary and Oshawa in the It's Always Two Bitches Out Here saying exactly bowl. I don't know who to pick in this game. By proxy and my like ethical records, I can't say Oshawa, but Calgary is just so fucking bad, man. They can't stop anything and they can't score. You know what? I'm gonna do a solid by friend of the program, Alex Simmons, and I'm gonna break my streak. I'm gonna pick Oshawa. Better goaltending, better pizza. Oshawa Johns.
That was good. I'm taking Calgary. I don't care. They're due at some point. We need them to win for the Wings to also win and get the number one pick. I'm going to will it into existence. I'm
relying on your boys next week to get the job done in this instance.
This is literally the wrong pick. Oshawa should win this game, but I'll take Calgary. I guess I don't know.
7 Eastern, one last flight. Vegas at Philly. I'm going with the Wings. I'm only going to have 2 more chances to pick them and pick them as this iteration. I'm going to die on the sword. I want to see one final awesome game. Go Wings.
Pause, please. Hello?
I've been summoned.
You've been summoned? Yeah, you have. You have internet out there or what?
No.
Also, so you didn't happen to see the beautiful game that the Michigan Wolverines just put up?
Is this really what you called me for? Don't forget, I'm still a national champion. So
I just told KB on the pod. I said I guarantee you he's going to bring up the national championship.
Of course I am. What? I'm a national champ. You think I care?
Hey,
it would have been cool. It would have been cool to win too, but it is what it is. Hey, if y'all win, well deserved. You beat us. You probably should win. But I'm still a natty champ.
We also had to keep your streak alive, D.
And KB said we had to keep your streak alive on the pod, and this is our way of doing that.
Oh, that just warms my heart. I miss y'all, people. You know, this week has been. It's been a week. A lot of things came up for me.
Being a natty champ is tough.
Forgot to mention that, so I'm not quite in a position to physically be on the pod, but sending my good wishes verbally.
Hey, Calgary or Oshawa?
What?
Calgary or Oshawa?
You asked me that question for real?
Just give me an answer.
Calgary, always. Roughnecks, baby.
You heard it here first. Roughnecks winning, Philly winning, getting the number one pick.
Bang. Spalina Bowl 2024.
All right,
as long as it's not going to Toronto.
Oh. All right, we'll let you go sleep in your car trunk now.
Oh, wow. Y'all are wild.
We hope you escaped the movie theater, Deej.
All right, we'll catch you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's incredible. That's incredible.
I told you he'd bring up the natty. I told you.
We called it. Called it from a mile away. Also, did you see Brian's tweet at him?
No.
when Deej tweeted that he was a national champion, he was like, "Nah, you a Richmond fan at all sports now."
Oh man!
Which Deej replied with the Homer Simpson going into the hedges. Gif.
Yes, that's great. That's great.
Oh, that's great. Did you give your pick for Vegas and Philly?
Vegas.
Okay.
I want to believe in Philly, but
demonstrate the breaks. I think we're both on the same page in picking Buffalo. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Especially with and I say unfortunately because Rochester was our podcast league pass team.
Dude,
it was your league pass team.
I know.
They've just crumbled before our eyes.
It sucks because they're that team, that logo. When I look at them, and I'm like, that's a good team. Mm-hmm. Like in my mind, that's a good team. And then I'm like, oh no, they're actually not. They're
like the.
They're so bad they put Zed back on defense.
They're the what team are they in an NFL comparison? They're like the Chargers.
That's a good one.
They're the Chargers of the NLL.
Yeah.
Except Connor Fields greater than Justin Herbert.
Hey.
Connor Fields has professional championships and an MVP to his name.
Hey, Justin Herbert's not even the best number 10 quarterback in his division. Some are saying.
People are saying. Colorado, Saskatchewan. I'm with
Tusk up, baby.
I'm with you. I like besides like Georgia and Colorado are the two most consistent and like boom teams right now. Like that would be an electric NLL finals. And Saskatchewan has just lost like 4 or 5 now before their bye.
Yeah, it's something crazy.
It's crazy the drop off they've had after being like they just looked like a team that was playing a completely different sport.
Honestly, you know what's crazy is when the Mammoth lost 3 or 4, there was that like overreaction of like the power rankings, and they dropped us to like 6th, and then Saskatchewan goes and loses 4 or 5, and I guess they did drop to 5th. Now that I say that, so scratch that. But still, I was like, we got dropped so quick in every power ranking, and somehow Saskatchewan still is regarded as like the top of the league.
Is Saskatchewan the Diana Rossini of the NLL?
Oh, what a news
Who's ever
cycle.
locked fingies with a losing streak?
They're not together though.
No,
they're just friends.
Both are happily married. They were there with
to each other.
Other
to each
people.
other.
Yeah. It was like SpongeBob. The gang's all here. Give me a break. Yeah, we're both going Colorado. And then San Diego, Georgia on Sunday at 4 Eastern. I want to believe in San Diego, but you're playing Georgia, and like they are also fighting for that top spot. Like they're still in the mix for that, I believe, or one of the top 2. I can't go against MVP. And San Diego's just having a tough time scoring right now. Dauber knows how to prevent teams from scoring. I'm going Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, they can only put up 5 against Nick Rose, who, phenomenal goalie, but if you're doing that against him, you're probably putting up about the same, if not less, to Dauber.
The last time San Diego cracked double-digit goals was in that 14-12 loss to the Mammoth in February.
Which is...
They've gone 4 straight being held to 9 or less. And they've only scored double-digit goals.
Yeah, I
like twice since February.
I want to believe in the boys out there, but
I like those boys. I want them to succeed.
friends of the pod. But
Facts. Big time. Which the Georgia Swarm, if they would just follow us on Twitter, we could classify that. They interact with us on every other social platform. They reposted our clip on TikTok, reposted it on Instagram. They commented, and then I think they deleted the comment. They put a box emoji and the shush emoji.
oh,
But I'm like, hey, just follow us. Let's be friends. We've been waiting damn near 8 years for this. Come on, join the party. And then it'd be down to 2 teams that don't follow us, which I'm sure
Who's
you
that?
can guess. Buffalo.
oh, really?
Buffalo has interacted with a tweet, I'm pretty sure, a while ago. That's the thing. Georgia liked the tweet last year, and that's when we went on our whole tirade of like Georgia. But now they've interacted. They still don't follow. Like they're teasing us. And then Toronto just doesn't acknowledge we exist.
Well, that's never happened.
No. They're too corporate on social media. But there you have it. Hoots is going Ottawa, Vancouver, Calgary, Vegas, Buffalo, Colorado, Georgia. I'm going Toronto, Vancouver, Oshawa, Philly, Buffalo, Colorado, Georgia. Deej's going Calgary, and we'll get his other picks on the graphic.
DJ's going Calgary.
Go
That's
next.
it.
And those are our penultimate NLL picks of the week, brought to you by Kenwood Beer. PLL news went crazy this past 3 days, Hoots. The longest kept secret in PLL history, Graeme Hossack is not returning to the Utah Archers. He is going up north to play summer box for, you guessed it, the Six Nations Chiefs. Because every fucking player under the sun plays for that team. If you play summer box lacrosse, you are entitled to compensation from the Six Nations Chiefs. If you or someone you know has ever competed in MSL,
Really, we need to change it to you and everyone you know.
they have more than likely been compensated by the Six Nations Chiefs.
Oh, man.
But Graeme Hossack gone. It sucks. You know, from a league perspective, one of the best to ever strap it up in the PLO. Utah certainly needs a poll to link back up with Warren Jeffrey and Lavelle, but losing Haas is it's tough shoes to fill for whoever it ends up being.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, when you have a kid, a second one, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, as well, and you have a chance to play closer to home, it makes sense. Also, the tweet did say this year, so he could be back in the future, maybe. Who knows? But
True. We have seen Ty Kurtz do the Uno reverse and come back. Which, pending NLL playoffs, they'll have Cam Wires. We'll see how that, shakes out. They've signed Jackson Canfield. They have Mitchell Dunham, who they drafted last year, and then they signed Ethan Till from Penn as well. Plus, like, Mason Woodward is on the roster, and they signed Tommy Stull from Richmond as their LSMs, but definitely would not be surprised if Utah finds their way around drafting defenseman in this upcoming draft. But going to miss Graeme Hossack this year. Some other news. Carolina Chaos building out that coaching staff, replacing Kyle Sweeney. P.T. Ricci left the Whipsnakes to join Stephen Brooks in Carolina. this is a move that is getting a lot of talk, but I feel like it's not getting nearly enough. P.T. Ricci's one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. Like, you look at that Maryland defense and the consistency they've had, even when that offense couldn't score, the defense kept them in games. And I know you have, all-world defensemen and Matt Dunn and Tim Muller and Ajax, but P.T. Ricci unlocked so much in those guys that to lose them, and now he gets to go and coach Jared Newman and Jack Rowlett and Levi Virch, who I put a takeout on the timeline this week about Levi. This is a huge get for Stephen Brooks in his first year coaching the Carolina Chaos to add a guy with the pedigree of P.T. Ricci to his coaching staff and to that defense, work alongside Blaze and Austin Kaut too, with that goalie tandem, Troy Ray. They added Liam Burns in free agency. Like, they have Scott Smith that they got in the player swap with Maryland last year during the season. Like, this is a loaded defense and has been regarded as one of the best defenses in the league since inception. I am so enthralled to see what this defense is going to look like with P.T. Ricci coaching them up.
Yeah, and for a team that's, we're talking pre-pod, going to be without a lot of guys offensively for the first few weeks, they're going to have to play some stellar defense to keep them in games. So it's a good move. I think they already have a pretty stacked defense comparatively. I mean, there's a lot of good defenders in the league, but I think they've quietly put together a pretty good room as well. So, going to be scary, I think, once they get their offense back paired with that defense.
And I mean, P.T. Ricci played in the MLL. He was teammates not only with Stephen Brooks with the Florida launch, but he was teammates with Austin Kaut, he was teammates with Jared Newman, and he was teammates with Liam Burns. I think what we've seen over the past couple of years with former players coming in and coaching, whether it be PT, Drew Snyder with the Whip Snakes, we've seen it with, Brooksy, obviously, the former players who have come in and joined coaching staffs. We'll see it with Will Manny this year with the Cannons. We see it with the Redwoods now, with the way their offense has really turned it around with Bachlet and Chris Collins, former player. There's something to it in the PLL that if you have played the PLL game or were close, crossing over and have been an observer, having a former player on your staff goes a long way.
Oh, I'm still waiting for that Eric Law to Denver tweet.
Yes.
I almost asked him last week, and I was like, nah, he's getting ready to work, but
he's putting the headset on.
It's going to hit like crack.
Oh,
literally, he was.
So good. We got to get E-Law on the show.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love to do it.
Yeah. I'm reading the press release of the article here. You look at the Chaos brain trust. You have Spencer Ford, Stephen Brooks, P.T. Ricci now, and Matt McCready's. That's a damn good coaching staff. And I'm the Chaos. I talked about it at Champ Series. I said before Champ Series they were going to win it. You have the coaching staff in place now to be successful, and I feel like Brooksy's going to be there for a long time. This is just setting up to be a very successful, consistent run for Carolina now. Where they had the 2021 championship. They've always been the team that kind of starts behind the 8 ball. This feels like ushering in a breath of fresh air across the board for this team. And adding a guy of P.T. Ricci's caliber to this coaching staff is going to be awesome. And in the article that Myles Jordan put out, who's the new Chaos beat writer, which before P.T. Ricci, I said Myles was the best offseason pickup for Carolina this year. He's still in the top 5, in my opinion. But PT is going – I said PT is going to turn Levi Virch into Colin Squires for this Chaos team. That is the mold there, and I can't wait to be right about that. And in the article, P.T. Ricci quoted. He said, over the past couple of years leading up to the draft, Brooks and I would do mock drafts and always bounce ideas off each other. We've always said that if the opportunity presents itself and we can link up and coach at some point, that would be perfect. And now it's happening. Their draft is going to be fascinating now, too, knowing that information. Knowing that they bounce draft ideas off of each other, their draft is going to be fascinating to see how they kind of piece it together now. But PT Ricci leaves the Whips, goes to Carolina. Philadelphia Water Dogs in the news today as we're recording this. Number one, Myles Jones joins his fourth PLL team. 2 weeks ago, I said the number one team that makes the most sense for Myles, the Philadelphia Water Dogs. And it was even more elevated because of the GM connection being Dave Cottle, who coached him and was around in the MLL days with, which I don't know if this is anything. My chrome foil hat is on. All the posts about Myles and the correlation to Cottle, the captions say the Baltimore Bayhawks. When Myles was there, they were the Chesapeake Bayhawks. They were one of the teams in the 2020 bubble that PLL absorbed the IP for. I don't know if it's anything. I don't know if it's something, but just that stuck out to me because all the photos, too, of Myles, it says Chesapeake Bayhawks on the jersey, but all of the captions say Baltimore Bayhawks.
So are you saying that they're going to bring back Chesapeake?
I'm saying they might call them the Baltimore Bayhawks.
Even though they already have the Maryland Whipsnakes?
Uh-huh.
I don't love that, but
I always said it would be Chesapeake, and then they would play at the Navy Yard, and that's your inter-state rivalry. But I found it interesting that Myles was a Chesapeake Bayhawk, but all the captions were saying Baltimore Bayhawks.
I mean, could they just bring back the Bayhawks and put them in a completely different place?
That's also true. Because they were the Baltimore Bayhawks from 01 to 06. And then they were the Washington Bayhawks from 07 to 09. And then they were the Chesapeake Bayhawks throughout the rest of the existence of the MLL. Just an interesting... Kept an eye on that. Keeping tabs on that one. But Myles Jones to the Philadelphia Water Dogs, 1-year deal. I love the move. It's a perfect fit for Myles in terms of players that will be available / not available for the Water Dogs to start the season. He's going to. I said it on the show. I said with Jack Hanna playing in the NLL, and hopefully the Mammoth, do really well for Jack and obviously for you, Hoots. Myles can kind of play that Jack Hanna role of the big body midfielder and kind of just bully his way through. But also, we saw in Champ Series, and we've seen, in those couple games he played last year, Myles is still a very elite passer. And that's something the Water Dogs really missed in their midfield last year, was like they had no initiation from the midfield. If Myles is able to pass the ball and use that vision he still has at an elite level and move the ball around, get the ball to Kieran McCardle, get it to Michael Sowers, get it to these guys on that attack group, it's a huge boost for this team. And I love this signing for Myles' fit, and I love it for the Water Dogs, especially for the early go of the season, where they're going to be without CJ Kurz. They're going to be without Zed Williams potentially, without Jake Taylor potentially, without Zach Courier potentially, without Thomas McCon. There's so many what ifs that here's a constant. You're going to have Myles Jones for the first couple of weeks of the season.
Yeah, and I mean that's why you play well at Champ Series, because you were in opportunities like this, and I mean we'll see once everyone comes back from NLL and stuff. I am curious to see what that playtime looks like, especially because even last year with Atlas, I didn't feel like he was playing horribly when he was benched or anything, and then all of a sudden he just was gone.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure he's going to have an extra chip on his shoulder now too, just to be like, I got to show you. But yeah, I think it's a great signing. Prolongs his career. I know he's good for the league with, he's a good face, for marketing and that standpoint.
Obviously
And he's
a Lexus ambassador too.
Yeah, he's personable as well, which is great. So, yeah,
he also
I like
fits like the Philly culture too. Like Philly fans are going to love rooting for Myles Jones.
Yeah.
Like he's an easy person to root for. Like not even just player, like he's just a likable human. Like if you've ever been around Myles, like he's just so easy to root for as a person. And I think at this stage of his career too, like he wants to just win. Like you saw the mini doc that came out a couple weeks ago. Like he said he didn't feel like he was a part of that Atlas championship run, and he just wants to win. And I think you look at the Water Dogs at full strength. I still think there's room for Myles to play, depending on matchups, depending on what have you, and he can be part of a team that has championship aspirations, that are looking to get back to that championship pedigree that they had under Andy Copeland, that it felt like they were taking the first step towards last year when they got to the semifinals. Adding a caliber player of Myles who has been there, he's done so much in the league, has a championship technically under his belt with the Atlas. I love the fit, and I think it's going to pay dividends for this team in the early go of the season too, when a lot of teams are trying to figure things out. To have a guy who is just a proven PLL veteran is massive for this team. So I love the move, and Myles is going to look fucking swaggy in purple.
Woof.
Love that Instagram. He also liked our tweet about, I found the video of him walking into Villanova last year just by the Water Dogs banner. And I was like, oh, funny how timing works. And Myles, who doesn't follow us but should and should come on the pod, liked that tweet. So he's always watching, Wazowski. He's always watching. The Water Dogs were also in the news because an hour after they signed Myles Jones, they went up and got Trader Joe on the line and shipped off Dillon Ward to the California Redwoods for a 2027 third-round pick in the college draft. Hoots, as the resident Dillon Ward fan club, you are the epitome of like, if Dillon Ward has one fan, it's me. If Dillon Ward has no fans, I'm dead.
Yeah.
That's you. There it is.
You see it. It's all right. Only a little sad. Really, I was just mad all day about it, honestly. Like, if anyone listening listens to me on any show I've been on for the last however many months, I've been beating the drum that Philly should be trading Dillon Ward, particularly to the Denver Outlaws, for a lot of reasons. Now, I'm biased because that's my team, but it just makes so much sense. He lives here, all that stuff. I'm not going to get into that. It's a great pickup, first and foremost, for the Woods. I think giving him a chance to play, potentially, at the very least, challenge Chase Erlin and, have a 1-2 is good. Especially because after Philly added Troutner with DeLuca and I'm blanking on the third. Yeah, Adler. It was just, you could tell it was kind of like someone's got to go. Also, like you said earlier today, great to get value back after the season he had. Let's be honest. He's been great in the NLL this year, but he was bad in the PLL. It's just a fact. The fact that they got a third round pick out of it is great.
In what's supposed to be a loaded draft class next year.
Yeah, the fact that it's next year makes it even better, in my opinion. I'm more so mad about it because before I had a team, I rooted for Philly strictly because of Dillon Ward. So I feel like a part of me is like taken now because it's like, dang, like that was my squad. Also, when we had the Zed trade occur to Philly, was it last year, 2 years ago technically?
Yeah.
I was like so psyched that we had Dillon Ward, Zed, and CK together year round. Zed goes down almost immediately. I was like, oh, okay. Well, we got Wardo and CK. That's fine. And then CK's gone from the Mammoths. So now we got Hannah, Hess, Wardo. I'm like, this is going to be sick again. Nope, because they got to trade him off with Trader Joe to California. I'm just saying. I just wanted to see it happen. Also, my tweet is mildly incorrect. Ignore the fact we did get to see Ward and CK play together. I recognize that now. But regardless, still mad about it. I wanted to see them all play together year-round. But one day we'll get him back in Outlaws jersey. I have no doubts.
Yeah. One of the original championship members, Dillon Ward. I think there are 9 members left on the Water Dogs that won that 2022 championship. It's Kieran McCardle, Michael Sowers, Connor Kelly, Zach Currier, Jack Hanna, Matt Witcher, Ben Randall, Matt DeLuca, and Charlie Hayes. So there's 9 left. Not an original Water Dog, Dillon Ward. Obviously spent the bubble season with the Chaos. But he is reunited with the player he was traded for on the California Redwoods, with Wes Berg. They were swapped for each other. Yeah, it's one of those like changing of the guard moments. I think if you're fit, like Dillon Ward's just been a constant in that Water Dogs room, and Matt DeLuca credits Dillon Ward a ton for his progression and just his start and being able to, perform at a high level in the PLL. When he's come on the show, he's had nothing but incredible things. And when I've talked to Matt just in general, like he always says, like he credits Dillon so much for just his wealth of knowledge. And I'm excited for Matt in this instance. Like, yes, it sucks to see like a legend leave a team, but I'm excited for Matt DeLuca because, last year was a lot of yo-yoing between the two of them and nobody really got a chance to like have any consistency. And now, like, yes, Tim Troutner's there, but like, let's be honest, Tim Troutner, he didn't play at all last year. And I think he's an above serviceable backup in the PLL. He's a guy that you would love to have on your roster if your starting goalie goes down. And that's no slight to Tim. He had a great starting career with the Redwoods, but at the end of the day, when people figure out that your 5-hole is, your Achilles heel, it's easy to beat you. But I think Tim is a perfect backup, and Matt's going to be able to learn from Tim too. And I think this is the big moment for Matt DeLuca where it's like, all right, my mentor is gone. It's time for me to, put up or shut up. And I think Matt would say that here if he was sitting on this show with us, having known him for as long as we have. This is a prime opportunity for him to like showcase that he is an elite level goalie, which I think we have seen those flashes of, and he's just never gotten a consistent opportunity to showcase that. And I'm excited for him to have this opportunity. Like, this is a huge day for the Matt DeLuca believers and for Matt DeLuca in general to like say, hey, like I can be the franchise goalie now for the next 5, 6, 7 years. People forget, like, I think the one position in the PLL where like you can have a lengthy career is goalie. Like, the Whipsnakes just re-signed Brian Phipps. He came out of retirement and he's back in the league again. Like, and that's no slight to Fipper, but like, he's an older guy. Matt DeLuca's still only 28. He's going into his 7th season. He was drafted in the 2020 draft. Now he has a prime opportunity to just be a starter and not worry about, they're going to deploy Dillon Ward and I'm going to go back to the bench, which like Matt's elite with the iPad and everything. But like at the end of the day, he wants to play. He wants to start. And I think it's finally his time to showcase that. And I think we're going to see a big season from Matt DeLuca this year.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give him, I said this last year too, but the back and forth thing doesn't really work. Mm-hmm. You got to just pick one and let him go. So I hope that's the case. Although I will say, Tim Troutner, the last time we saw him play, was an all-star.
Yes.
Now, granted, that was a year and a half ago,
Mm-hmm.
but
Almost 2 years ago.
it is kind of good to have that insurance policy back there too.
And I think it's fun that you
Was
now
that
have
2 years ago now?
Yeah, because that was Entenmann's rookie year.
Yeah.
And it's fun you have two goalies now, with Tim and DeLuca. They're very different. Like DeLuca's a righty, he's 6'6". Timmy's a lefty, he's 6'1". So it's a little bit of a different dichotomy there where like Dillon and Matt are very similar. Both righties, both 6'5" or taller. Like it's a different look if Tim were to play in a game than Matt, but I'm excited for Matt. Like he's a friend of the pod. He's supported us a long time. And, not that Dillon Ward's also a friend of the pod. He's been on the show in the early days before we were even doing video versions of the episode. So like Dillon's always been a supporter of us too. But I'm pumped for Matt. I'm pumped for Dillon because I'm sure he's going to have an opportunity to start in California. And not that, Chase Ireland's not a competent starting goalie, but now there's some competition for him. It's not just a hand me the job type situation for Chase Ireland. And Dillon Ward's going to compete and, gets to be coached by Chris Collins. That's a very fun, awesome duo there. But it's one of those change of the guard moments where when you bring in a GM, there's no connection to guys. They're not going to be afraid to move on from them. Andy Copeland was the GM and he traded for Dillon Ward. Bill Tierney obviously knows Dillon with the Denver connection and what he means to just Denver in general. So he was always going to have Dillon Ward on that team. But now when you bring in a GM that there's no connection, you're going to see some shakeup with a lot of these teams when they bring GMs in. So it was almost inevitable that, whether Dillon retired from the PLL at age 35, 36 after this year, what have you, he's getting towards the end of his career. But I think this is a smart trade for the Water Dogs, and I think it's a good trade for the Redwoods. Is there any other notable signings this week in the PLL?
Not really.
Some depth signings and all that jazz. Jesse Bernhardt retired since we last recorded too. Hoots, your thoughts?
Expected.
Yeah.
Kind of shocked that it was him more than Manley.
Uh-huh.
Like part of me definitely had that thought of like, can you stick it out one more year?
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I've had the same thought about Manley, but just, you're losing the championship by one. You got to be thinking in the back of your head, we're right there. Let's run it back. And your brother just got there. You played 1 year with him. I kind of just had that thought of like, maybe he runs it back, but also like we knew from right after that game that him and Manley retiring would, is a likely outcome. So, I definitely thought that because they waited long enough, I was like, maybe he's coming back. But overall, not really a shock. But I mean, definitely going to have some holes to fill defensively for the Outlaws that I just don't. If Manley doesn't come back, that's going to be tough.
Yeah. And I mean, Jesse definitely just has the aspirations to be a coach, and he's coaching at Maryland. He's the associate head coach. Like, whenever Tillman hangs it up, I feel like he's just waiting in the wings to take over. So, I think that's there, and knowing that the PLL is working towards a spring schedule, it's like, let's just call it now and really focus on what's at hand. I think that's kind of the decision there.
Well, and he would have already missed the first couple weeks anyway. So I'm sure he was just like, it was a good run. Like,
am I going to work my body up, in late May to play for 3 months?
And I mean, remember what happened in the beginning of last year when they had that time to ramp up? The defense was horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were talks back then about if they were fit to play. So if you already don't have that, it's, that's already a tough situation to be in. But hey, good for him. Good career. Wish him well in the coaching game, but
maybe he'll coach in the PLL one day. Who knows?
Hey,
who's to say? But Before we get to the final segment here, I want to talk to you guys about our PLL app code. Guys, the PLL app is the one-stop shop for everything going on in the PLL. It's the easiest way to keep up to date with news like the Dillon Ward trade, news like Myles Jones signing with the Water Dogs, news like Jesse Bernhardt retiring. You get push notifications sent right to your device, and it's a gamified app. You go into the app, you complete trivia, answer questions, surveys, you earn points, and that goes towards PLL shop discounts, ESPN Plus subscriptions, what have you. It's the coolest app in modern professional sports. Download the PLL app in the App Store, Google Play Store, or go to pll.app. And when you go to the redeem code section, type in OTBPOD, that's OTB Pod. You get 500 XP on your account. So download the PLL app, use code OTB Pod, get 500 XP on your account, and keep up to date with everything going on in the PLL, including the upcoming PLL draft in the PLL app. Speaking of said draft, Hoots and I are going to do a mini mock draft, just the first round of the PLL draft, upcoming on Tuesday, which I mentioned at the top of the show. I'll be at ESPN HQ for both the PLL and WLL drafts on the 14th and 15th. Looking forward to that. Super stoked for the opportunity once again to be on location for it. But we're going to go through. We're each going to do our mock draft. Not going to like snake anything. That way we have the fun social graphics to post of who we think are going in the first round of the draft and see how wrong we are come draft night. But the draft order, it's Archers, Cannons, Whipsnakes, Chaos, Water Dogs, Redwoods, Outlaws, Atlas in the first round. We'll use Adam Lamberti's big board as a reference point and kind of just our own personal thoughts on everything. And we'll get Deej's picks too. We'll see if we can get him to do a mini first round mock draft as well. But Hoots, I think we're in lockstep on the Utah Archers here. It's Joey Spallina.
Yep. No questions asked.
It's a no-brainer. Joey is one of them ones, as our good pal Brian would say. So we are both going Joey Spallina to the Utah Archers, which brings us to where I didn't think the draft would be starting yet up until the Shaler injury. But the Boston Cannons now on the clock at 2. The draft starts there. Who do you have the Boston Cannons drafting number 2 overall now?
I'm going to look so foolish. Full transparency. This is going to be so bad for me. I'm going to get flamed, but it's all right. Looking at their roster, it's clear to me they need another defender.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty badly. Now, I don't know much about Will Donovan. If he's only an LSM or if he can switch up a little bit. I'm hesitant to say they're going to take Will Donovan just because they do have Owen Grant. They have Ethan Rowell. I'm just not totally sure what that status is. If he can switch between the two positions, then I'd go him. But I'm actually gonna do a hot take and take Alex Ross from Penn State.
I like that. Yeah, Will Donovan, I don't know unless he put on some pounds. He's 6 foot 195. Feels very LSM-y to me. I like the Alex Ross pick there. I've also been going back and forth on this and being like, we've seen teams draft guys that were injured and just kind of hold on to them.
Yep.
Do they still take Shaler there?
I had that same thought.
I've been on that train, and it's like, do you want to risk him falling far enough to get back to you in the second round? Does a team like New York take a flyer on him late and being like, hey, we might have a down year this year, but we get Shaler there, kind of build up a joint Maryland defense with Makar, kind of leading the way there with Rex Road. And
I could see it.
I could totally see it. But I think I'm going to go the safe route here, and I'm going to join you with Alex Ross. which I think is going to surprise a lot of people on draft night, but it shouldn't. The Cannons need defensive help. Garrett Epple's still a free agent. His future's uncertain. Bryce Young retired. Jack Keelty is their only returning defenseman with a new defensive coordinator in the fold as well. And then they signed John DeFazio, and then they have Remington Reynolds, which, no offense to him, he just sounds like the most creative player Madden, like season 17 of your franchise mode that you drafted in the 6th round of the NFL draft. I'm going to go Alex Ross. I think he's the safe pick. And I think for a defense that had so many inconsistencies, and Brian Holman told us about that last year, they want to kind of be safe this time around, and they're going to go Alex Ross with that second pick. Which brings us to the Maryland Whipsnakes, and I think it's the worst kept secret. They're going Aidan McGuire.
Yeah.
He's the best short stick, and quite frankly, like really the only short stick that should be draftable in this draft, unless, you know, Kolar or Pilling or Ty English kind of, you know, surge this tail end of the regular season and then into conference tournament play and then into the tournament. But Aiden's by far and away the best of those. And you look at the Whipsnake short stick D-midi room ever since Ty Warner left to go be a doctor, it's bad. You lost Christian Mazer to the military. Puglisi retired. Jake Bernhardt's on his last legs. You need you need like an anchor at that position, which is the most important position in the PLL going right now. If you don't have strong short sticks, you are not successful in the PLL. Aidan McGuire to the Whipsnakes, it just feels inevitable. And if it doesn't happen, I'll be stunned. Which brings us to the Chaos, which is where things could get really interesting.
Yep.
Who do you see the Carolina Chaos taking at pick number 4?
It's tough because I feel like looking at their midfield / attack room, I feel like they could probably improve there, but they have so many guys already there. They'd have to cut several. Mm-hmm. They probably could use some defensive midfield help. Who knows what? Maybe you know what Scarp's injury is, or
he's coaching.
Oh, that's why he's out. Okay, I got you.
Unavailable travel.
Okay, the out made me think he was actually injured.
Because he coaches high school, so he'll be out until his high school season's done.
But even so, with like Glissini being 33, you know, at the same time though, defensively, there's so many good options as well. Like, do they take another pull somewhere? With Newman being 32, Rowlett being 29, he'll be out for the first however many weeks as well. I feel like they might just go like best available type of pick and go with Mikey Weissar from Towson. They'd have to shake up that entire just offensive unit for sure. But I mean, even like, just look at their midfield. I mean, maybe not, but Ross Scott, Shane Knobloch, to me, are the two.
They're the faces.
They're the locks of that midfield. Everybody else, I could absolutely see them saying, we're moving on. You're on practice roster. You're not really playing. The only other position, like I said, that I would take over that is maybe defense. And even then, like, I don't think Newman's going anywhere anytime soon. I don't think Jack's going anywhere anytime soon. Scott Smith's still, you know, fairly new. Liam Burns being 32, but getting a chance to play.
He just signed there, and he didn't play at all last year.
Like, now, would it shock me if they went defense, though? In all honesty, no. But for the sake of our mock, I think it's more fun to take Mikey Weissar right there.
Yeah, I mean, Chop Gallagher, they just signed. He's kind of an unknown. He hasn't played in the PLL. Aslanian had a great champ series. Charlie Bertrand feels like he's going to be there, just based on everything I've heard and speak from Brooksy. Cross Ferrara, this is a big training camp for him. Perk's 31. JJ Silstrop got injured towards the tail end of last year, and then Cole Williams had a really strong champ series as well. That's going to be a competitive training camp in that midfield, with, like you said, the locks being Shane and Ross. Weishar's a great pick. I think the Carolina Chaos are more so looking at that attack room because they'll be without Charlon Beatties. They'll be without Josh Sawada. They'll be without Owen Hiltz. Jackson Eicher had a great season last year. You need, guys to go with him. Brendan Nickturn, we'll see what happens, with his play. They signed Eric Maliver, and they have Drew Lucas on the roster. I think this is where one of the big surge players recently, and just has always been on Kevin Boylard's radar, comes into play. I think Silas Richmond is
that's a
going
good
to be
pick. That's a good pick.
Member of the Carolina Chaos.
My thinking with Mikey was you could bump him down to attack, but I like your thinking of just straight taking an attackman.
Yeah. I mean, Silas is 6'4", 215. They're already running a big attack group with Jackson, Nick Turn. You've got Aslanian on the roster. You've got, Perk. Charlon Beatties is 6'2". They like big guys on that roster, and Silas Richmond, I think, fits that, and I think that's a slam dunk pick for the Carolina Chaos at pick 4, and just kind of continues to build that young nucleus of offensive players with Ross Scott, Knobloch, and the rest of those boys. Owen Hiltz, obviously. So I'm going to go Silas to go to Carolina, which brings us to Philly. I am going Mikey Weishar here. This is who I think the Water Dogs have their sights set on. I think he fits that midfield perfectly. And with CK entering his 30s, Courier is in his 30s. Myles Jones, obviously, in his 30s on a 1-year deal. You add Weishar to McConvey. You add Weishar to Jack Hanna. That's a fun core at the midfield position there for the Water Dogs. So I'm going to say Mikey Weishar ends up wearing purple and is going to Philly.
That's interesting to me. Kind of surprised you didn't go with a defensive midfielder there. But I don't hate the pick either.
And he kind of gives them a different look at the midfield. Like, Weishar is smaller. He's 5'9", 170. Gives you a little bit of shiftiness in that midfield. But he can score. And the Water Dogs were terrible scoring from the midfield last year. So that I love the fit there for Mikey. And it adds to the Bill Tierney of just loving guys named Mike, Mikey, Michael on his team.
Yeah.
Because that would be what? 1, 2. Be the third Mike. It would have been 4 if Mikey Bain was still on the roster.
Sorry, I'm weighing my options here.
There are a lot of options for this.
I'm trying to see.
And I think the Water Dogs are another team that are like hoping the Whipsnakes don't take Aidan McGuire, and then the Chaos don't take Aidan McGuire because he falls. Because then you'd be able to pair Dillon Hess and McGuire with that in that short stick room, and that's just absurd.
Lordy. I like Ty English a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's also just the bigger name. But looking between him and like Eric Kolar, they're about the same size. English probably gives you more of a scoring threat.
Because the Water Dogs short stick room right now is Charlie Hayes, who's on the unavailable to travel list, Dillon Hess, who's NLL, Witcher, and then they signed Casey Wilson, who they have listed as an offensive midfielder, but can kind of do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I'm going to take Ty English.
Interesting. Ty English
And-
first round.
I don't know. I'm just. I kind of wish I wouldn't have taken Weishar with the other pick because I like your explanation there. But at the same time, I feel like they're going to need D-midi help. And in reality, do they take English over Kolar? Probably not. But I like the offensive threat as well because they have Casey Wilson there, to where if you have two guys that can kind of do a little bit of both, I think that's probably pretty helpful long term. And it spices it up because I don't think many people have Ty English going that high.
Which, to be fair, Zach Carey does have Ty English going to the Water Dogs later on in the draft.
Does he really?
Pretty sure he had Ty. Yeah, he has Ty English going to the Water Dogs in the second round.
Okay, so we're just doing a little bit of reaching.
Far fetched. A little bit of a reach, but it's fine.
We got to go get our guys,
Exactly. So there is the Water Dogs pick. We go to the Redwoods with the 6th pick.
Joey Spallina. Just kidding.
Who Zach Carey in his mock draft had Silas Richmond going to California, or going to Utah via California with the 6th pick.
Ugh.
The Redwoods are just so fascinating.
Man, do we think they rock with 3 defenders this year?
I think they need so much help in that midfield.
Chad Palumbo. Time to pick up the phone, buddy. No. Oh, man.
I'm going to go Matt Collison.
I like it.
Who Zach Carey had going to the Water Dogs in the first round in his mock draft. I think Collison is the mold of a Redwoods midfielder. He's a big body. Can kind of, hang and bang with the likes of Denenza and Romar, and it gives him a little versatility. And then you have JB34, Connor Camille, McAdory, who are kind of on the smaller side. Camille's 6'2", but JB and McAdory and Sam English are all below 6 foot. I think Collison is the pick there. And you have a little intel because Chase is coaching there.
That's a good point. I'm with you on the midfield. It's just down to who gets taken. Because you also gotta think that Joe is looking at a guy like Michael Leo.
Oh, yeah.
With the Syracuse connection. I think he would be foolish to overlook Palumbo, though, as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've sort of made as a half joke my guy for the college season. So trying not to let that influence me here, but man, that's a tough one. I also just don't want to put it on Joe to be like clouded in his judgment and be like, well, I know the Syracuse guy, so I'm going to take a Syracuse guy. Because he straight up said he wasn't taking Joey, which means he's thinking about this logically. Because you took Matt Collison, I'll take Palumbo here to offset and be a little different.
So Palumbo.
Mostly because he's been inverting a lot this year down to play attack for Princeton as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I considered taking an attackman for them because looking at their attack line, we'll see if Berg actually plays. Otherwise, it's Chris Cavs your lock.
Yeah.
Malloy played really well, so I'm assuming he'll be back and play well again, but he's getting up there. Garnes is getting up there. And then
he'll be coaching.
Yeah. And then it's
Mikey Bain.
Maea and Bain, pretty much. Which, hey, maybe Maea gets a shot. A truly, big opportunity here and capitalizes, but I think having the versatility of someone like Palumbo where he could play both is great, especially when you have already Sam English and McAdory there. You have a big 2-point threat with Romar. JB34 still there. Like, that could be fun.
How tall is Chad?
6'2", 205.
He would join Westberg as the only other attackman over 6 foot. Dylan Malloy is 6 foot. Every other attackman they have are 5'10" or shorter.
Yeah. So assuming he could invert more and give him some size.
I like that. I like that justification. And whoever takes him, I will be on the I Palumbo, you Palumbo, he, she, we, Palumbo, Palumboing. It's third grade SpongeBob. So I've got Collison going to the Woods. You've got Palumbo, which brings us to the Denver Outlaws.
Lordy. And of course, I already took
Alex Ross
off the board.
It feels very defenseman coded.
It has to be a defender. There's no doubt in my mind. In real life, I hope we get Alex Ross. But part of me now is questioning, like, would they reach for Will Shaler? I don't feel like you can because you were so good last year.
Intel.
Yeah, but like, are they willing to sacrifice potentially a year? Not that I mean, they still have, Nick Grill's there, Wales there, JT's there.
But obviously JT's also coaching, so.
I mean, that's.
Do you go Hunter Smith? Do you go Billy Dwan?
Really, that's my dilemma right now. I mean, you have Pilot still there, Parnham.
I think the Hunter Smith Billy Dwan coin flip will really be predicated on how Richmond and Syracuse do in the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, Richmond's defense has been great this year, but they've also, like we've been talking about, not played the toughest of competition.
Hunter
Syracuse has. All right.
Billy Dwan's kind of got that Jared Newman in him where he can score.
Is Dwan a righty as well?
He's a lefty.
All right, give me Smith then. The Outlaws right now have JT is the only righty. They have Parnham, Pilot, and Whale, who are all lefties. All three of their LSMs are righties, though, I will say. But
I will follow you in the Hunter Smith to the Outlaws, feeding our Richmond agenda on this show.
yes.
Which takes us to the final pick of our first round mock draft, the defending champion New York Atlas.
Billy Dwan.
I'm with you. I feel like it's a no-brainer. Like, you keep the kid in New York, easy to root for the fans, and you need a defenseman really badly.
No, Brian would be insufferable.
Oh, upstate Bulls. Which, hey, if you're the Cannons, you're probably doing backflips and you're hoping the Archers pass on them, and then you take Shaler in the second round.
Yeah. I mean, Carey has the Archers taking Palumbo at that spot.
From our mock draft, still available, Will Donovan, Will Shaler, Eric Spanos, still on the board. Michael Leo, Cullen Brown, Alex Marinier, Evan Plunkett, Luke Roa.
Luke Rowe's a dog.
A lot of big names still on our board. Shout out to the boy Griffin Skane. Shout out Mama Skane. Shout out Izzy, friend of the program. A lot of big names. A lot of family members in this draft. Ty English, Teddy Malone. There's a lot of family members that could be reunited with their brothers in this draft.
Dee's just gonna see this and be like, "What were you guys thinking? Why did you take?"
Why would that team draft them? You guys are fucking idiots. There it is. We'll put graphics out and try to get Deej's picks, but we both have Joey Spallina going 1, Alex Ross 2, Aidan McGuire 3. You've got Weishar going to Chaos. I've got Silas Richmond. You've got Ty English going to the Dogs. I've got Weishar going to the Dogs.
That's where I messed up.
You've got Palumbo going to the Redwoods. I've got Collison going there. We both have Hunter Smith to the Outlaws, and we both have Billy Dwan to the Atlas.
It's those middle three picks that I was just wilding. I
don't hate either of them. Like, sure, it's Ty English reach, but if the Water Dogs want to go short stick, like, and if he goes on a run for UNC, like, who's to say his draft stock doesn't rise?
That's facts.
So there it is. You can leave your mock draft, speakpipe.com/OTBLaxPod. And I'm sure you and Deej will also be doing mock drafts on the college show leading up to the draft on Tuesday night, which we will hopefully have a stream for. We're working on just like logistics of everything, but trying to keep that tradition alive as well. As I'll be at ESPN HQ, but we'll have I'll be like the true insider. I won't be on my Rossini type shit. I won't be locking fingers with any GMs. But
hey, low-key, that is being a true insider.
If you know, you know. That is all we've got for you guys on this one. Make sure you're following us at OTB LaxPod across the board. Follow Hoots at Hoot Sports Media. Follow Deej at SCS_NextGreat. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia and Outside the Box podcast YouTube channels, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia, youtube.com/@OTBLaxPod. And this has been episode number 422 of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked, number 11 Philadelphia ranked, the most disrespectful and unprofessional lacrosse podcast you ever done, seen, and heard in the land. It's the Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Industries Podcast Network. For Deej via the phone, for Hoots, I'm KB. Enjoy the NLL. Enjoy the draft. We'll have the OTB College show coming at you Tuesday morning, pre-draft. It'll be a ton of fun. But until then, we're getting the heck up out of here, everybody. Peace.
Peace.